Under new business, item A, we have an update from PUD General Manager George Sidhu, and Steve Sexton will introduce this item. Steve.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Yeah, this evening I'm going to be very brief. We have George Sidhu, the General Manager of Skagit PUD, here to give us an update on their projects and programs that they're currently undergoing. And I see you have a commissioner with you as well, Commissioner Lindquist, if he wants to take a spot up here, he's more than welcome to, I suppose.
Commissioner Lindquist is also a former city council
city
member, and we
council.
never let him forget it.
There you go, George. Thank you, Steve.
Hi, George.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. Thank you for having me. As Steve said, my name is George Sidhu. I'm the General Manager at Skagit PUD, and it's always my pleasure to come before the Council every year and give you an update on our projects. So I've got a number of projects to discuss, and feel free to ask questions while I'm going through. You don't need to wait till the end. Raise your hand and let me know whatever comes to your mind. So to start off with, as Steve mentioned, we do have one of our commissioners in attendance. Joe Lindquist is one of our commissioners, and that is our complete board. As a reminder, we have 3 commissioners, each with the same district boundaries as county commissioners, and they each serve 6-year terms. And I do like to point this out, that we have a strategic plan that our staff and our board aims to align our budget requests and capital improvement plan and make sure that we reinforce our priorities when we think about what projects we're going to do and what is important to our customers as well. I will start off with our campus project. I've come before a council and talked about this many times, and I'm happy to say that we have been in our new building now for about 2 months. So this was is the site plan for our property, the 16 acres that we have on Freeway Drive. The yellow orangish rectangle in the top left corner is where our new building is located. The light blue on the right is our existing building that fronts Freeway Drive. And so we have our admin staff relocated from our existing building to the new building. Because you can tell the square footage and the size of the rectangles don't quite match up. So we still have our operations staff in the south part of our existing building. And that's where our yard is, the large, I don't know, the mouse is gonna work, yeah, down here. That's all our yard, and our vehicles and our equipment are parked there, and we still have our operations staff occupy the south part of the building. The renderings to the right of the photo are the plan, and here's a daytime and a nighttime photo. So it looks pretty much like the rendering, and we've been in there 2 months and we're still working out some kinks, but everything's going well. A couple of things to mention with this project. So I guess it's a good opportunity now to just thank the city for their partnership in opening up the fields. We were mentioned about Edgewater Park and improving those fields. These used to be play fields for the local community. And so having been able to open up these fields for development has allowed us to build that admin building, and it's gone great, and we appreciate the city's partnership in doing that. We are also looking at leasing the part of the building that we vacated. So the northern part of that large blue rectangle that fronts Freeway Drive. So the northern part of this building. We are working with the Mount Vernon School District and are hoping that they could move into that building and occupy it for their admin staff. So that is still in the works and nothing finalized yet, but we're making some progress. Questions on this?
Questions for George? Yeah.
A quick question. Will the district, the community room, will that go with the district? Is that part of the agreement?
Yes, very good question. So that square up there is what was the Aqua Room in our building, and that was available for free for nonprofit community members to come and use. And we have built a new facility in the new building that has even better technology, and it's laid out better. It's got more light. So yes, we will, starting in July, that is going to be open for the community's use as well, just like the last one was.
That's great news.
Yeah, it is. We get a lot of inquiries and a lot of demand for that space. And the new space is, I think once people realize that it's going to be even better to be there, it'll start being more in demand. It is available on our website to be able to reserve it. So it's called the Aqua Room, and if you go on our website, you can find the part of the website where you can send an email and look at the calendar and arrange a reservation. But it's free for nonprofit. We don't reserve it for wedding receptions or fundraise or other kinds of things. Was there another question?
Anyone else?
No? Okay. One thing that we are particularly proud of is working with our local irrigators. So as I'm sure everybody's aware, water is a very scarce resource in Skagit County. And a lot of our irrigators use water directly from the Skagit River. They pump it directly from the river in order to irrigate their fields. They don't have senior water rights. This is a whole big discussion, which I can get into later if you prefer. But their water rights are interruptible. In the summer, when the in-stream flow in the Skagit River drops below a certain level, those irrigators can't pump to irrigate their fields. The PUD has senior water rights, so we have the ability to pump from the river to serve our customers. What we have done in the past, and now we are doing on a more regular basis, is we are taking some of the water rights that we have, because we can curtail them a little bit and allow the irrigators to use them. So we are temporarily and seasonally transferring the water rights to some specific irrigators so they can pump from the river. And we've done it during droughts, but now we've recognized the need in working with the irrigators that just because the state doesn't declare a drought doesn't mean there isn't a lack of water for irrigation. And so now we just do this on a seasonal basis. We did it last year. We're doing it again this year. So we have 3 specific areas where we are transferring water rights. They are in place right now, and they're using them right now so that they can continue to irrigate. Ag is very important to Skagit County, and we are working with them in partnership to make sure that all of the crops can be successful. So this is something we're proud of, and we're continuing to work on it. This graphic it shows it better on that screen actually. So these are the 2 districts in South Mount Vernon and on Fur Island. The little triangles are places where they pump from the Skagit River, and so those are places that we are able to transfer our water rights to allow them to pump. It's really worked well for them. It provides them water security when they need it for their crops. Moving on, we like to think of Skagit PUD as an innovative utility provider, and one of the innovative projects we've done recently is use some of the excess water pressure in our system to generate electricity. And we did that on one particular project about 4 years ago at the tank that we have on Division Street and Digby. There's a small building there where these photos were taken, where we have this in-pipe energy recovery valve. And so instead of us taking high pressure and reducing the pressure and burning all that energy, we are able to capture it through a microturbine. And so we did this 4 years ago. We were able to capture that energy. We net meter it back into PSE's grid, and then that reduces our electric consumption at this site. So at that specific site, we save about $1,000 a month in our own electric costs. So that was really successful. And we've taken that to another step, and we're working with Mount Vernon and doing a very similar project right near the high school. So I'm sure a lot of people have seen it, but we have a water reservoir right up near the high school. It's called our 9th and Highland tank. And we do the same thing there. We have high pressure that reaches that tank, and we reduce it. We reduce the pressure in order to serve customers. And so we are also have completed installing an energy recovery valve there as well. This one is very innovative because we're working directly with the school district. PSC has partnered with us and is going to allow the school district to use the excess electricity that we're generating. So we have a very small demand at this site. the power generated will first cover our needs, but then the rest of the energy will be transferred over to the Mount Vernon School District to be able to use at the school. They have 14 electric meters at the school. They consume a lot of energy. This excess energy won't satisfy all of their needs, but they should be able to save about $26,000 a year in energy costs by just using this valve. The energy is there in the water system, and it would just be dissipated if we did it the way we have in years past, and this allows that energy to be recovered. So I've got a couple of photos. This is up there right now. So if you drive by the site, you'll see this large gray box. It is generating electricity, and we're just waiting to finish the paperwork with the school district for them to take, they're gonna pay our bill on our water meter, so we just have to, or on our electric meter, so they're just gonna finish the paperwork for that. And then PSC will sign off, and then we'll be able to transfer the excess energy.
That's pretty cool.
It is a very cool project. On our last one, these were articles that were published nationwide. We were on television programs. We did a YouTube video. We did a whole bunch of stuff, and you're going to see a lot of promotion on this one as well. This company is trying to get this product in more markets, and so Mount Vernon will be featured again in a lot of promotional materials regarding this. And especially because it partners with the school district. So I think there's another angle there that's going to be really helpful.
Any questions on that from council? George, if things don't work out with the school district, my house is a block from that site. I don't think that's a conflict.
Okay.
$26,000. Yeah.
Kevin, he's shaking, or is he
Next
nodding or shaking? He's shaking his head. Okay. And one piece of this, and a very important piece, is that we were able to get this project fully funded. So the PUD is not contributing any funds to this. There are clean energy grants. The Inflation Reduction Act gave us a grant. TransAlta owns a coal mine in Centralia. And so, they're getting out of the coal business. And so they have money to put towards projects. And we were lucky enough to receive some grants. So we are going to cross our fingers that the Inflation Reduction Act follows through and nothing gets cut off this year. We should come out of this without having to spend anything, which is a big bonus. Not just for us, for our community as well. And then I also like to talk about what projects we're working on in the city. So we have some pipeline projects. This one, not the greatest graphic, but this is College Way. And there's a bright yellow line that goes across the page, and this shows our water system. But we are replacing a pipeline on College Way, roughly from just west of Continental, almost up to LaVenture. Everybody's probably noticed the single lane traffic along the curb, along College. The project's almost done. We had a contractor working on this. Our crews do the connections to our existing system, and we just have a few of those left to clean up over the next few weeks. So it should be very close to being done. And again, we partnered with the city, and our partnership has worked well in this one as well to try and pick a good location for that trench to not disrupt traffic more than we needed to. Another project that you're going to see start fairly soon is up at the east end of Division Street, just past the elementary school. There's a little bottleneck in our system. I've highlighted it in yellow here. We have to upsize that. It's not the best sight lines. I even just drove this recently. So flagging is going to be important, and it's just important to keep your speed down in this area, I guess, when we're there. It shouldn't take too long, but that's coming up fairly soon. And then this is a project that we're under design right now up in the Hillcrest neighborhood. It will be constructed next year. And so all of the yellow highlighted streets are where we're going to replace pipe. So this is quite a large project. It's in a neighborhood, so it's going to have a lot of impact, and we'll message it and everybody will be aware of it. But one reason I wanted to bring it up too is talking about our innovative staff that we have. this is the first project that we used a drone to do a survey. So instead of sending our surveyor out to take a lot of time to survey, pick up points on the ground, all of your paint marks, all of the surface features, everything by hand, we have a drone that we purchased that has a camera on it that's over to the right, and it is able to capture, using LiDAR, it can capture everything that we have. It picks up trees, it picks up all of the utility locate marks. It saved us, we already finished the survey, it didn't take very long, and it saved us a tremendous amount of time. And we're hoping, this is the first project we used it on, and we hope to use it on many other projects as well. So this is a really cool thing that we're doing, and I just wanted to point it out because our staff did all the research. We purchased it, and yes, it works. You know, it's worked. So that is the last slide I have. Unless there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer questions about something I talked about or even something else.
Councilmember Vanderstoep.
Hey, thank you so much for coming today. Fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
When you are doing projects, so that's in my neighborhood, I'm getting a lot of questions about it, in the Hillcrest area.
Okay.
I would love to know where to find start dates, end dates, scopes. That way, when I have a neighbor asking me, I have something to tell them.
Yes.
But then also, for our city staff, those roads are fairly new. And so coordinating in the future to be able to replace pipes in maybe areas, I understand that this is not super important to you probably, but
No, it is.
replacing pipes in areas where the asphalt is degraded already would be amazing. Then we can do a 1-2 punch, and then we don't have big dips.
I agree with both of your comments. Yeah, we try to coordinate as much as we can. That is important to us. We understand that residents don't know the difference between, you know, a road job and a sewer job and a water job. It's all utility work. And so we try and partner. I can't give you specifics on exactly why the timing didn't work out on this one. It's unfortunate. But yes, we do try and keep that as a priority. And this project is, you know, we did the survey, construction won't be till early next year. So you will, residents will be getting notifications, and our website is usually updated with that information as well. So as we get closer, there'll be places to get that information, and I'll make sure that we let you know about it as well.
Fantastic. I got one follow-up.
Okay. Yep.
And this is not a fun one for you. When are you gonna look at doing electricity as well?
That could be a whole other conversation. So back in 2007, that issue was brought up locally, and it went to a vote for the county. So statewide, there were 3 counties. PUDs have electric authority, so they have the authority to provide electric services. So in 2007, Skagit County, Island County, and Jefferson County all went to a vote of the public for the PUDs to take over the electric systems. And it passed in Jefferson County and it failed in Skagit and Island counties. So in order for us to do that, it has to go back to another vote.
I'm so sorry. She was walking up to me.
That's okay.
Okay, 2007 vote failed.
Yes.
And we have to go back to another vote.
That's the way that the only way that we can then get electric authority. And in a lot of information, but Jefferson County basically had to buy the electric infrastructure in Jefferson County from PSE. I think back when they finally did it, it cost them over $100 million. So the electric infrastructure was already there. PSE is a private company, but you could say that it was all already there, serving the public, owned by the public, but they had to repurchase it. So that was a big price tag to buy that electric infrastructure in Jefferson County. The same thing would have to happen here. You know, if the vote passed, we'd have to raise a lot of money to buy PSE's infrastructure. And I think here it would cost more. They have dams, let alone just lines and poles and those kinds of things. So it's not something we can pursue. It's got to come up on a ballot and it's got to get voted.
I would love to talk about it more. It's a passion of mine. I love the idea of public power. I think it's a super fun idea. just for the public, of the 28 counties that have PUDs, 24 of them provide electricity. I would love to be the 25th one. And there's a lot of positives behind it, but I understand that it would be very expensive.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if I articulated it, but it's not something that internally we can go out and push and market and lobby for. It's got to come to us. It's got to be a
Fantastic.
community-based ballot measure.
Beautiful. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for your
If,
time.
if you want some information about the history, I can provide that to you, just so you have some perspective on 2007, even just what we've done in the past.
That'd be fantastic.
There is some history with that.
Right now, I'm starting off my history with the Tennessee Valley Authority, and that was almost 100 years ago. So maybe I should update it a little bit.
Our last history with this is 2007, and before that it was 1952. So yeah, there's a big gap.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, Richard.
Just a kind of a procedural question. When you're in neighborhoods and have to do utility work and then generally temporarily cover up the trenches, and then I'm guessing at some later date, when most of the work is done, you come back and finalize that cover, the pavement. I'm guessing that's the procedure. But I'm asking because in this neighborhood, just to the north of this map, there was quite a bit of work done this summer. And there's still quite a bit of, unless it's happened in the last week or two, I haven't been looking lately, but it seemed like the rough patches lingered for a long period of time. What's your kind of procedure and
Yeah.
timeline for trying to cover those?
That's a good question, because it is important for everybody to understand. So when we respond to leaks or breaks where we have to open up an asphalt patch or even do pipeline work, you're correct. We come in with a temporary patch that usually isn't even, it's enough to just cover the trench. We try and make it as smooth as possible, make it drivable, but it settles, it's not hot mix. And what we end up doing in the summer, we try and bundle up a lot of these projects and have a contractor go and tackle them all at once. It's inefficient for us to do these small projects. We don't have a lot of staff to do it. We don't have the equipment. And so, unfortunately, we wait for a few of them to stack up. We go to a contractor and then they knock it out in like a week or, so some of them do linger because of that. We're just waiting for the bid package to be put together.
All right, so I guess if people have concerns about that, they can call you, not the city.
That's
And
correct. If it's one of ours.
if
yeah.
it's one of yours, which is hard to know the difference sometimes.
It is,
I
yes.
get that. But there are quite a few areas that were torn up, and so I appreciate you just sort of staying on those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of people notice that it gets uneven on the temporary patch and they think that it's final. So,
Right.
yeah, if you guys get called, people know, when we get calls for each other, when we know it's
Yeah.
the other utilities work, then, we're happy to explain that, but
Thank you.
Awesome.
I just wanted to say thank you for coming and thanks to Joe for coming. I really want to commend you for the partnerships that you have with the school district and with the farmers. They're both really struggling. And I just think what you're doing is just a great job.
yeah, thank you for that. We're really proud of those. We try to think of everything that we do with a community focus. And we know that even though those things don't have to happen, that it's better for everybody, so we try and make them work.
Thank you.
Councilmember Hudson, any questions?
Nope, I'm sorry, can't be there to see you, George. I'll catch you next time and email you if I have anything come up.
Sounds good. Right.
Thanks for being here tonight, George.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Commissioner Lindquist.